Hello, welcome to Ascari Civilization board game. I just want to give a quick intro on how to use the site and what's what. This is the front page of the game. Here you will see the active games, and here you will see the finished games. When you're logged in, you can create games or you can join existing games. You also, in the top here, you have some general information and tech overview, which you should read to get to know, if you're not so familiar with the Fame and Fortune and Wisdom and Warfare expansion packs. You can read about them here. So first off, you should do is you create a game. And you write the name here, and then you have to choose Wisdom and Warfare and Fame and Fortune expansion pack for now. You choose the number of players and the color you want, and then you create the game. Once you've created the game, if you refresh the page, you will see that the game is created down here, and if you go inside there, this is what it will look like. It says it's waiting for players. There's a tab here for game log, which shows the public game information. You have a map here. You have the asset file here. I will explain about the map and asset later, and you have a chat here, so you can write your chat here and it will appear down here. So right now you can't really do anything until all players, the game needs to be full, and since I chose a 2-player game, let's go ahead and create, let's join that. So here I have another player. He will join this game, and then the game suddenly is full, and the system has made a draw, and it's Chul's turn, which is this player here. So now you see that there are 2 more tabs which has appeared. It's My Items and Battle. In My Items you can make draws, and you can see your content. Also, your tech tree is in My Items. So first things first is normally you start by choosing your civ. Let's make a couple of draws here. So I've chosen 2 civs. You see now that the private log is showing that you have made 2 draws. It's England or Greeks. Let's go ahead and choose the Greeks. So once you choose your civilization, you get your units and you get your starting tech. Also in the game log, it will now show that you've made your civilization draw, you made your unit draws, and what you have discarded. Quick note, if you made a mistake, you can press the undo button here, and it will initialize a vote, and everybody needs to vote yes, and once that is done, it will be taken back into the system. Since this is a 2-player game, what you need to do is you need to go in the map, and it's not just for 2-player game, obviously, it's for every game. What you need to do is you need to go in the map, open editor, and you need to make a copy of this one, because this is a read-only map. And you write some name, preferably name of the game, and then you can close the other one. And while we wait for that, I can do the same for the asset file. The asset file is created to show how much trade you have, how much culture, coin, units, cards, what level of units you have, stacking, movement, tech tree, investments, etc., etc. Also here you should write down what kind of social policy that you want. For now, you have to do this manually. The system doesn't know how much trade and culture you have yet. It might come later in later versions. So for now, you have to write your orders in the chat. So basically, you say, okay, setup. I want my capital location to be at. Let's just go here. Okay, so a two-player game typically looks like this. So you just delete the unnecessary files here. Quickly delete and then here, let's say you're the first player, so this so you're Greece, and you write your name here, and then on the right side here you choose your civ, so your civilization starting tile. Okay, that was a little big. And then you need to remember to, let me zoom a little in so you can see better. So you need to rotate this tile. So rotate it clockwise. Right, so you write your orders and say that, all right, I want my capital on B2, for instance. So you write capital B2, and my social policy, I will choose pacifism, for instance, and I will collect for trade. So you write that, and right, you need to say army and scout. I'm gonna have them at C2, for instance, C2. And then you go in the map, and you take your capital, you put it there, and you have your scouts and army figures here. And the second player, obviously, the civ isn't chosen yet, but it was cast 1981, and once you're done, basically you should end your turn, because the other players cannot draw any items while it's not their turn. So you need to end your turn, and so the other player can now refresh, and suddenly they can make draws. We see here that an undo was requested. So you go in the game log, and you see a red button here. And here you can vote yes or no for the undo. So if we vote yes here, then it will say that the system has removed Artillery 1-3 from tool and put it back in the deck. So let's go ahead and make a couple of civ draws. So you make a draw here, a couple of draws. So we got Aztec and Japanese. Let's just first choose Japanese. So I get my units, I get my tech, starting tech. Then you should go in the map, and right, before we do that, we have to share this map. First you need to go and publish this map. So you publish to the web, and then you go in File, Share, and you make sure that this is viewable for everyone. Everybody that has access to this can also view it. So right now you need to go in the map view, go all the way down, and put the link. So I copied this URL, and you just put it in here and update it here. So you see it will appear here, and if I now do any changes here, let's say that I am taking Japan here. Obviously I need to rotate it counterclockwise, and let's say that I want to have my my capital there, and my figures here. Now if you look at here and refresh, you will see that the map has been updated accordingly. It will take some time to load. Let me load the other one here. There we go. So the map is updated on the fly. The same goes with asset. You should always go and first make a copy of this file. So you make a copy and say my copy of asset or something, name of the game. You can close the other one, and then you go ahead and remove the nations that you don't need. So we remove these ones here because we only want Greece and Japan. Let's see, delete this one here. Now my Google Docs is in Norwegian, but obviously you need to change to English. So then here you can write your social policy. Let's say, for instance, we have natural religion, and Greece has chosen pacifism. So they have democracy and chivalry. Japanese, they start with mounted level 2 and infantry with 1 extra in strength. So what you need to do is you need to publish this to the web. So you push publish here, and then you also do the same thing. You go and share and make sure it's viewable for everybody who has the link. So basically you just you copy the link and you put it in here, update the link, and it will get updated here. And always remember to copy the link in the chat, so that everybody who's playing can request edit access to the file, so that they also can edit. You also have to remember to have a Google account, because these are Google Docs and spreadsheets. Otherwise you can't really do anything. Right, so I will simulate simulate an order. So okay, we have cash here. So let's say you have written where you want your units, and you start your city management. So you just write city management. For instance, I want to build a scout on N7, for instance, and then you go ahead and you put a scout there. And let's say that Greece builds an army figure there, and let's say that alright, you're done, you end your turn. Then it's the other player's turn, so he refreshes his page, and you see that okay, it's Chul's turn. So now here you want to, for instance, start your movement, and then you say that my army goes to D3. You should write this in the chat. So you say movement army D3 goes to army C3 goes to D3 and opens tile. And then you go ahead and you draw a tile. Let's see, I have to remember to do this in the correct view. So you go ahead and you draw a tile, and so this is tile 17. In the game log now it will say that you drew tile 17. Then you go ahead on the map editor here, and let's just make it a little easier to view. So you delete this one, and was it 17? It's 17. You draw the tile 17 over here, You make it a little bigger, and you have to remember to rotate it the way you opened, obviously. And if there was some hut and villages here, you have to copy it from this item here and draw it on the map. Everything you need to play this game is here. So all the wonders are here, generals, relics, city-states, coins, etc., huts. So you just make sure to drag them from here. And obviously you saw the buildings are there also. So you just drag this relic over here. Oftentimes you need to go and say that the map should be moved back, because when you put items in front, there's some errors, so you have to say that the map should be moved all the way back. So okay, and then you just write that, alright, so I'll move my scout to E2 and army to D2, for instance. And you make sure you write that in the chat. And then you end your turn, and then it's Cash's turn, so he will do the same thing. Basically he will write that alright, army figure goes to, or scout even, goes to M7 and opens the tile, and then he makes a draw for the tile. So it's tile 24, and he does exactly the same thing. One thing that's also wise to do is to delete all unnecessary files or images, because it will take a lot of bandwidth. So you should go ahead, once all civs are chosen, you should go ahead and delete all this here, because it will take a lot of bandwidth to open this page. One other thing I want to show is that, let's say that you have let's say you have drawn a culture card. You will see in the game log that this is the public information, that Cash has drawn a culture 1 card. So it's hidden information, but if you want to use this card, for instance, this is duty and honor, so it's something that you can't keep, basically. If you have 3 options here, or 4. One is for looting. If somebody has looted your culture card, you have to press the loot button, and you choose which player you want to send the card to. Actually, it will just randomly select the culture card and send to the player. Right now you have only one, so it will just send that one. If you want to, during the trade phase, to send this card to somebody, you just push the send to player button and choose the player you want to send it to. Or you can reveal this this card, then it will just say in the game log that you have revealed duty and honor. It's still in your items, but if you use the card, you have to discard it, like that. And everything you discard will always be printed in the game log. It will show that you've discarded duty and honor. So this applies to, obviously, everything, great persons, huts and villages, and so on. One thing I forgot to do actually is to draw ancient wonders, or did the system choose for us? I don't think so. Nope. So you can go ahead and draw wonders for your game. Obviously you should have done that in the beginning. So you will see what type of wonders you got. This is also public information. So you can go in the game log here, and you will see which wonders have been built, and then you will just have to pull them up in here. Let's say that it was these wonders here. There we go. Last thing I want to show is the battle. If you're going to do battle, you have to obviously draw units from your battle hand. So here you can write the number of units you want to draw. Right now I only have 2 units, so even if I say draw 3, I will get my 2 units here. And if somebody, and then let's say you're fighting a village, then the other player needs to draw the barbarian units. So they push this, draw barbarian units here. And for now, fighting unfortunately needs to be done manually in the chat. So the barbarians need to, for instance, whoever is playing the barbarians need to say Archer 3-1 new front, write it in the chat like that, and the other player will look at the chat and they will see that, alright, somebody played Archer 3-1, and then you go ahead and say, alright, I will play Horseman 3-1 Trump and kill Archer 3-1. So this is how fighting has to be for now. And then once you're done, you have to reveal and discard your hand, and that will reveal the hand you had in the game log, so that everybody can see that the cards you played are in fact the ones that you drew. And if you have lost units, you need to remember to discard them also here, like this one. So I think that was it. Lastly, I would like to ask you to donate if you have, if you can. It will help keep the lights on and help me develop more features. Just push the donate button here, and any amount I would be glad. Thank you. Bye bye.